My name is David Board. I'm 50 years old and presently out of work due to a reduction in the workforce where the steel plant that I work at. I was born and raised here in Weirton. I was 19 when I went into the mill. It was a year after I graduated from high school before I got into the mill. If you could get into the mill, you were pretty well set for life. It was a good living. It raised, I don't know how many families over the years. My grandfather worked in the mill. My dad worked in the mill. I had a couple uncles that worked in the mill. I'm the last of that generation to come in. I got married the week before my 22nd birthday. I got laid off the month before I got married. That was when we called the big layoff, because I was laid off 4.5 years, I think. So we lived in an apartment for a while, and then my oldest daughter was born, and then we found a house to rent, and my second daughter was born, so everything was there. And I just kept finding employment in different places, and then I'd hear someplace different, and then I'd change to that job and everything. And of course my wife worked, and my mom and dad helped out. My mother-in-law helped out with the kids and everything, so we made it through that stretch. The pay and the benefits. The pay, not so much the pay. I mean, the mill paid better, but you also had your benefits. So that was a big plus right there. And having a family, you need benefits. So that's why we came back to the mill. I got about 30.5 years in the mill altogether. I think it's 10 people underneath me. It's all I have anymore. I have 30 years in the mill, a little over 30 years in the mill, and I am 10th from the bottom of the seniority list. I am one of the youngest people in the mill. The last 4 or 5 years, I think I've been laid off 3 times. This little area now is not hiring. It's hard to make a living. You just don't know how long you're going to be laid off. Me and my wife have become accustomed to this, so we know not to overextend. I don't know what I'm going to do for my future. I'm getting too old to be going through this all the time. I just want to work. That's all I want to do. Go to work and, you know, take a little bit of time. Even if I have to start over, I know I got to start at the bottom. But it would be kind of nice to, you know, get my roof put on or upgrade this furniture. Like my wife and I were going to get furniture for Christmas. I went back to work. I was back to work 5 months. And we decided for Christmas we would, instead of getting each other gifts or stuff, let's just go together, get new carpet for our living room and new furniture. It's been here forever. Well, what was it? 2 weeks after Christmas I got laid back off. So there went that idea again. So it would be kind of nice to do something like that, you know. And that's why it's getting kind of old living like this. I'm just used to working towards a retirement and getting a pension. But when Weirton Steel went bankrupt, the PBGC come in, took over our pensions, and they cut everybody's pension. Now I get to work on a 401k, which is kind of late in life to start working on a 401k plan. Being that I'm 50, I don't have a whole lot of time to work to get things made up. So it's important that I work. But our industry base is going away. A few years ago, we had the steel crisis, so you just kind of let the chips fall to where, okay, they're going to have to consolidate steel mills. We don't need this much steel anymore. Our economy didn't boom as much as it used to when we were building up throughout the world wars and stuff like that. Now they're shipping everything overseas to have things built. So my generation, like I said, I think I'm at the end of that particular area, maybe a few years after me, you know, somewhere right around in there. But we had manufacturing jobs to go to. Well, they're all going away. They're all downsizing, and we're going right down with them. From what I read, we're turning into like a service nation, you know, and we need to make things here. You need to diversify your workforce. Not everybody can be service people because all they're going to do is just service each other. It doesn't do any good to have a product made in overseas when the people back here aren't working, because we're not going to buy that product anyhow. Myself, I would pay a little bit more than I knew it was made in the United States. Taking an old mill and upgrading it helps out. To build a whole new plant, why not build a whole new plant? The technology's out there, use it.